Hello guys, in the last video we went over making a create form for our blog site. In this video I want to actually set up our authentication system where we can log in, register, and log out. And to get that to work, Laravel actually has some stuff ready for us, but we have to go in and add it. In Laravel 5.0, it actually came in the installation of Laravel, but now it's just on the website and we just have to do some copy and pasting to get it on there. It does give us in Laravel.com under the authentication, it gives us the routing that we need, so we can copy and paste this and put it in our routes.php file. So let's do that real quick. We're going to copy and paste, and notice it gives us our route get auth login, and we're going to use auth controller at get login. Well, if you ever noticed, in controllers we had this auth folder. Well, it comes with our auth controller right here, and it gives us everything we need to be able to log in and create a new user. And it doesn't have all the methods for it. It has create and it has validate. So everything we need is in these traits right here. So what we can do is rely on Laravel's under the hood methods of creating a user for us, and we already have our user model right here. So it's telling us that we have the table users, which we still have in our database migration. So we already have the table set up for the users. So all we need to do is actually make a view for this, because we have in our routes.php now, we have all the routing that we need. We just need to be able to hook these routes up to our navigation buttons up here. And we also need to be able to hook it up to our view. So when we get this, we need to create a view in our controller. And it's automatically going to point to the view auth/login and auth/logout, for instance. But I want to be able to have a named route right here, so I'm going to fix this up real quick and make this a named route. I'm just going to say as login, and I need to just have it use this controller. Alright, so I'm going to copy and paste this for a few of them. I'm going to call this logout. And you don't have to do this for the post, because that is just when we're going to be posting our login credentials to our controller to make sure that we are getting validated correctly. We can also add this to our get register. So let's do that real quick. Let's call this register. Alright, cool. So you may want to pause the screen real quick just to be able to write all this down. You should have been able to get these routes from the documentation on the Laravel site. So let's go back to the Laravel site real quick, and it also gives us some generic views. These views are actually quite ugly. It's not styled whatsoever, but they will work. It tells you where to put them. It says put these in resources, views, auth, login.blade.php, and views auth register.blade.php. So these are the two views that we're going to have to make. So let's just go and create these files real quick, and I'm going to go grab a snippet that came with Laravel 5.0 that I really liked. It's a styled login form and register form, and I'm going to post the snippet code on the website and on Udemy if you're viewing this on Udemy. So let's go back to Sublime Text, and in our resources views, I need to make a auth folder. So let's do that. And inside of our auth, I need to make 4 files. I want to make login.blade.php. I need to make password.blade.php. I need to make register.blade.php. And I also need to finally make reset.blade.php. Alright? So let's go to our login blade.php, and I'm just going to copy in this snippet real quick. It's a big bootstrapped styled login form. It only has a couple fields, but it has a lot of divs in it, so I don't want to go and code this in line by line. So let me put in the snippets for all of the rest of these real quick, and I will show you what they look like in just 1 second. Alright guys, I went in and I filled in reset, register, password, and our login views. So as you can tell, these are quite lengthy, so I'm going to post these on whatever site you're looking at this course on. So let's actually go to our nav.blade.php, and because in our routes.php I gave this a named route, which is a log out, log in, and register, I need to go and actually name these. So let's go to nav, and for sign up I called that register, so we're going to just say route register. Cool. Just copy and paste this real quick. And for this one, I'm going to call it login. Alright, so save that. And let's go to Google Chrome real quick. And let's refresh. And when I click login, now I have a very customized login form. So that looks great. But I need to sign up. And remember, we have our migration where we have a users table, so we can actually start adding users to this. And the reason I want to add users is because I want a user to be able to post a blog and have that blog related to the user. So let's sign up with some name real quick. I'm just going to sign up with myself. Let's say mike@mcprogramming.org. I'm just going to give it a little password real quick and register. So we got a not found HTTP exception in our route collection, and the reason that is if you look at our URL, it sent us to our main URL /home. Well, we don't have that, so why is it redirecting us there? So let's go take a look in Sublime Text real quick. Let's go look at our routes. We have auth register, so it uses auth controller get register. So let's go look at that real quick. We get auth controller, and we have validator and create. Well, we don't have get register, so it's probably in one of these traits. Authenticates and registers users. So let's look at that trait real quick. Alright, and this trait uses authenticates users and registers users. So I'm taking a guess that this is in registers users. So, well, I'm not taking a guess, I actually know that. So when we look at this, we can assume that this trait is actually the registers users trait where this method is. So let's go there real quick. Register users trait. Alright, so we have get register, and that makes the view for auth register, and we have post register, and as you know, it doesn't have anything that's redirecting us to our home. So we have redirect users. So let's go there and look at that trait real quick. So redirect users. Awesome, we found it. So if you look down here, it's redirecting us to our home. So let's change this to blogs real quick. So now let's go and try to re-register real quick. Go back to Google Chrome, and I want to go back to auth register. Well, look at that. It sent us right back to home. And the problem is that we're logged in right now, so it's still sending us to home. Well, what I want to do is go to auth, log out. Cool, so we're back in here, and let's go back to blogs, and we get back to our main page. Let's log in with the credentials we just set up, whatever yours may be. Mine happens to be mike@mcprogramming.org, and I'm going to use the same password. So now I'm logged in with my username. Well, we still have this login and sign up set up right here, so let's have this display my name and the log out option if I'm logged in, and if I'm not logged in, let's just display this sign up and login. So let's go back to Sublime Text. So now back in nav.blade.php, under this class that has the sign up and login buttons, what we want to do is we want to make a conditional statement right here that says if auth check, which means if the user is logged in, we want to display welcome and then their name, and then we also want to say log out. And if they're not logged in, we want to display sign up and login. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to create a new LI, and we're going to create an href with a named route of log out. Alright. Now I want to say else, and I also want to end the if statement. So end if. So let's make sure this works before we actually put in the person's name and welcome them at the top of the nav bar. Let's save that. So notice now that when I go back to our site, we're still logged in, so we have this log out option. So let's log out. And now, since we logged out, it sent us back to the base directory. So we want to go back to /blogs. Go back to Sublime Text, and we want to look at our auth controller again, and notice that we have our authentication registers users trait yet again, and when we break that down, it goes to authenticates users and registered users trait. We want to go to authenticates users trait. So let's just find that real quick, authenticates users trait, and we want to go to our logout method. Here we go, get logout. So it's going to redirect us to the root directory. So let's set this to blogs, save that, and we can exit out. Now let's go back to Google Chrome yet again, refresh. Let's go to blogs, and let's log in with our credentials. Alright, we're logged in. Now let's log out and see if we get back to the same blogs page and just have our sign up and login options. Cool, so we fixed that issue. Now let's have it to where it gives us our name at the top right here. What we want to do now is go back to Sublime Text, and underneath of if auth check, which means the user's logged in, we're going to make an li, and we are going to say welcome, and then we're going to have to give it the blade syntax, and we're going to say auth : user, and pass it the name. Alright, save that, and let's go back to Google Chrome. It might not style it the way we want, but it still will work, so you can go in and style it up if you want. So let's log back in. And cool, we got welcome Mike at the top right here. It's quite ugly, but it does do the job. You just need to style it and have it line up right here. So that is the end of our long authentication video, but this is a very powerful feature in Laravel. So I hope you take full advantage of the user model that comes packaged with Laravel, so you don't have to go in and hard code all of this validation yourself. It really saves a lot of time.